before we move on, can we just talk a little bit about what stroke is, and especially the impact of stroke on our lives? You can start on.
Yeah, so I think according to statistics, we mentioned that briefly last week, that is heart disease and stroke, cardiovascular disease is one of the top diseases that hit women in particular. So it's number one killer of women and in United States. So it's something that we really have to pay attention to, cardiovascular diseases.
Especially with stroke, right?
Stroke
And we
heart
also
disease.
said previously that every 3 minutes, I think it was 3 minutes, 14 seconds or so, someone dies of a stroke. Every 3 minutes, 14 seconds, somebody perishes of a stroke. That, I mean, if you think about it, that is, about 180 seconds, somebody dies. 180 seconds, somebody dies. But the good thing is, it's not been you, and we don't want it to be you. And that's why we're going to share this information together. So stick with us. And then also, we said that about, I think every 40 seconds, somebody gets a stroke. So every 40 seconds, somebody gets a stroke. But in 3 minutes, one of them may die. And this is a serious thing we're talking about. It may seem like fun, especially knowing me, I'm going to make a little more fun and laugh here and there. But we're talking some serious business. And we just need you to stick with us and maybe share with somebody, and let's learn together, because it may be the difference between life and death. Or even if you don't die, the difference between being stuck in a wheelchair or on a bed and just walking and living your life. And so I think it's important that we tackle stroke. And so that's why we're going to be saying more about stroke before we actually go to the next season. All right? All right. So we have convinced you about why we need to talk about stroke. So now let's go to, I think we have an outline, right, about what we are going to be discussing today. So let's hit outline. The first one is, these are the habits we're talking about. And I said some of you know that if you didn't, we're going to explain why these habits may be leading you into a stroke or heart attack. The first one is smoking.
Yeah, so in other words, it's bad habits, right?
These are bad habits.
Some habits may be good, but we are dwelling more on the bad habits,
Yes.
so that we can change our ways, right?
Yeah. All right, so go on the next one.
Yeah, we will talk about your diet. I think we will try and differentiate between poor diet and diet. Yeah, your diet. Then we continue with alcohol consumption and soda consumption.
Come on, man. Alcohol and soda for you, right? Alcohol and soda for you. Alcohol and soda. Yes. And then from there, we're going to be talking about unmanaged stress. We're going to be talking about stress, but the kind that is unmanaged. Because as far as we know, everybody gets stressed. But we were stressed before we came on alive. Come on, man.
Because this weekend have been very hectic.
Very hectic for us. So we've been stressed, but we made it anyway. But we managed it, right? And so, can you tell? Well, we'll go to that. Just stay behind. I'll allow Gifty to tell you how she managed her stress before we came on the line. So stick here with us, and she will tell you when we get to the stress portion. And then,
then we will end. We will talk about physical inactivity.
Physical inactivity. And so these are the things we're going to be. As a matter of fact, we have one last one because we said 6. Yeah, the last one is about how some people, due to their lifestyle, or they have a habit of not following through with their doctors, and that is the last one that leads to stroke. But we're gonna be thorough on that too. So that's what we are going to be doing. So we're hitting the first one. The first one is smoking and other substances. Smoking, nicotine, smoking, and other substances. The other substances, you can include anything else that you can sniff. They can all lead to stroke, and some of them can lead to even worse outcomes. But we can generalize them as smoking in general. So yeah, that is the beginning of our talk. So with smoking, we all know that smoking, when you smoke, you are damaging your blood vessels. So now we are telling you why smoking is a bad habit, so that if you are smoking, you will decide to quit as much as possible. When you smoke, you are basically damaging your blood vessels. So substances or chemicals in the nicotine, in the smoke that you're inhaling, they do not agree with your blood vessels. The lining of your blood vessels and your blood vessels in general are going to be damaged if you continue to smoke. And that is one reason why smoking can lead to a stroke. You want to add anything?
And we can also say that smoking can damage the lining of the arteries, which can lead to a buildup of fatty deposit. Like your arteries, the lining inside the arteries are damaged because you are introducing this chemical into your lungs, into your system, and that damages the lining of the arteries. And I think we've mentioned what the implication of damaging the arteries, right? It can build up plaques because you've damaged the lining of the arteries. And when the plaques are built and it breaks, clots are formed, and that can lead to stroke.
Definitely, definitely. So smoking can damage your arteries, and she described a process that we have said several times in live. We call atherosclerosis, just to scare you, but she said it in simple terms, so you all know what happens. The other thing that smoking also does is it leads to elevated blood pressure. When you smoke, you are just basically increasing your blood pressure. So people who smoke are more likely to have high blood pressures. So if you have high blood pressure, we know the risk factor for getting a stroke is high blood pressure. And so if you have a lifestyle or a habit of smoking, then you are definitely increasing your chance of getting a stroke. I'm not saying it, don't hate me for that. That's what the science is. Man.
Another point here too is it can increase blood clot. If you increase, you inhale the nicotine and all that you are smoking into your system, it thickens the blood. And when the blood is thickened, it clots, and that can lead to stroke.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Just one thing that you do. Just one thing that you do. Look at all the implications of smoking. And like I'm saying, I always laugh at everything, but this is serious stuff. And if you're smoking and you're watching, I'm not laughing at you for that purpose. I just want to encourage you. We want to bring the information and empower you. Sometimes we make the thing so clear so that it will be easier for you to make the decision rather than somebody force you or doctor say, you got to stop. No, you don't got to stop. But if you know what the implications are, then you will know why you need to stop. So we're not making fun of smoking or smokers. And I know it's not easy to stop. Trust me. When I was doing this preparation, I thought about why don't we also have a show to, even help people just to quit smoking. And we may eventually do that. But until then, you can talk to your doctor, you can talk to your APR, or whoever is your care person. You can talk to your pharmacist even, and they can direct you to what you can use. Nicotine patches and gums and lozenges that you can buy even without a doctor's prescription. Just talk to your pharmacist. But if you want the insurance to pay, talk to your doctor and see if you can get a prescription for treatment so you can get off smoking. Because it doesn't matter how many years you smoke. Some people say, oh, I've been smoking since my childhood. If I would die, I've died already. No. When you stop smoking today, you begin to slow down the damage to your lungs. And of course, all the processes that were exponentially increasing may begin to slow down. And so you still get some benefit out of it, even if you've been smoking all your life. So that is what we want you to know. Quit that habit of smoking, seek help, and it is possible. It is possible. Some people, they even do cold turkey. They just say, you know what? If I know this, I didn't know this. If I knew this before, I wouldn't have even started. Today, I'm not smoking anymore, and they are able. But that being said, it's an addictive substance, nicotine. So not everybody can do that. So we don't expect everybody to be able to quit cold turkey. And it's fine if you need help. We have prescriptions, we have patches and stuff on the shelf that you can buy to help you quit smoking. So the last point about what smoking does to you is that smoking also reduces your oxygen supply to your vital organs. Because remember, you are introducing something in place of all the oxygen that you could have been breathing in. So you are breathing in carbon monoxide, along with the smoke that you are inhaling. So that is also not good for you, and it can damage your vital organs, and all of that also leads to increased risk for stroke. So if you
Yeah,
have.
and also like it can be a secondhand smoke because you don't smoke yourself, but you have people around you that smoke. So if you are around such people, it's likely that you are inhaling the carbon monoxide, and that reduces the oxygen that's supplied to your essential organs. So definitely, you may not be smoker yourself. You have to prevent or avoid being a secondhand smoking. Like people around you are smoking. That's why it's so nice that they banned this
Smoking in
smoking
public
in
and stuff.
public
In the
places.
US, you can't smoke
Yeah.
in a public place. You will have to excuse yourself. But I don't think everybody that watches us is from the United States. So
Yeah.
if in your place of work people are allowed to smoke around you, you excuse them and then let them take the place because you will be inhaling the same toxic substances
Substance.
that they may be having. And the other thing is, I mean, we are talking about smoking leading to stroke, but the matter of the room is even lung cancers. So it's not just the stroke. If you don't get if you don't get stroke, you may also eventually get a lung cancer, and you don't want to get that either. So that is what it is about smoke. Can we move forward?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we are going to move forward, and the next habit that we want people to look at and quit from because it causes stroke is the habit of poor or unhealthy eating. Come on, man, that's not good. Poor or unhealthy eating. And before we actually go forward, we just made this up. It may not be anywhere. We may be the first people to bring it up. And if it is, just credit it to us. With I'm not talking about poor diet being an unhealthy thing that leads to stroke, but the difference between poor diet and unhealthy diet. Honey, talk about poor diet, and I'll talk. Or which one do you want to pick?
Okay. So poor diet may be like the stuff that you eat that are not nutritious. You know, it's not balanced diet, or that would be unhealthy. I don't know.
No,
So
that's right.
yeah, so you tend to consume more of one group
One group.
of foods. So like let's say that you have access to carbohydrates, you have access to protein, leaves, vegetable, fatty oils, and all that. But you tend to lean more to one group of food. So if maybe you're comfortable or you enjoy eating carbohydrates, you tend to eat more of carbohydrates, and your food tend not to be balanced, meaning that you don't have all the basic need
Nutrients
nutrients that your body needs. So you tend to consume one kinds of food. And sometimes too, some people eat the same kind of food day after day after day because they love it. Or maybe they were brought up with it. So that's all that they consume. That gives you like you have a poor diet. You don't have a balanced diet. You tend to consume one class. So I was thinking about this and I was checking how much foods I like the different kinds of foods that I consume. And I realized that I don't eat a lot of protein, you know. So there are a certain amount of food, amount of each class of food that you have to consume in a day to have a balanced diet. So check what you eat. And when you have your plate, make sure that your plate is balanced. It has all the necessary nutrients that you
It
eat.
has
That'll
all
be
the
just
necessary. You got the carbohydrates, you got the proteins, you got the healthy fats, you got all the veggies and all those
the
good stuff.
fruits,
The
the
fruits.
vegetables.
Yeah. So poor diet, I'll add to hers, is also usually consumed by poor people for the most part because they cannot afford all the other groups. So they get to stick to, if it is starchy foods, that's all they eat because they want to be filled with it. They have no access to other forms of foods.
Yeah.
That
Or
means,
maybe that food is too expensive.
yes.
Yeah.
So in that case, because of the socioeconomic state, they are restricted in eating all the good stuff. So that is poor diet. And as Gifty said, it is lacking all the good nutrients. So you could be poor, and that's the reason why. But some people too are okay, but they still, like she said, they still go for one way. That is a poor diet. Now, let me talk about the unhealthy diet. The unhealthy diet is a person that has access to everything, but they choose to eat the unhealthy stuff. Come on, man. I mean, in the US where we are, there's food and all kinds of food. You got the greens, you go to the produce aisle, you see tons of greens, you see tons of, bright colored fruits and veggies. And if you want to eat healthy, you can eat healthy. In fact, you can say that I'm not going to eat anything except for organic, and you can still have access to it. But some places you don't have it.
Right.
But people here still choose to eat foods that we are seeing on the screen right now that we are showing. Those of you who are watching on TikTok will not see. If you join our our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see it at the same name that you see. So after this, check out our YouTube channel. Processed foods. Look at the foods that are turning around. The sausages, the cookies. This one is what? Chocolate spread on a refined white bread. And the other thing that just passed, the orange candies. This is all processed. This is another processed food right there. I mean, you have a breakfast and you see this and you like it so much. It is all processed. The fries, everything is processed. Somebody has touched it and somebody has made their magic to it, added some salt and sugars and some oils and some flavors to make it taste good. That's what we mean by processed. It's not in their natural state. This is what we call unhealthy food. So you may have access to all the good food, but you are eating unhealthy. So either you are poorly eating or you are unhealthily eating. You, because of this habit, can have an increased risk for stroke. And that is what we want to share right now. Now we're going to tell you why unhealthy diet or poor diet can lead to stroke. I will start. The first one is that because these foods are unhealthy, they contain a lot of salt. I mean, just see fries right there. Fries is a lot of salt, or chips, a lot of salt. Sausage or hot dog, a lot of salt. They use the salt to not only make it taste good, but also to preserve it so it can last longer on the shelf. And salt intake, if you have been on the channel for long, you know that we have condensed salt or implicated salt in most of the high blood pressures. So you're eating all this salt from your ketchups, from your processed cheese on that bun, from the processed sausage on that bun, from the processed chocolate on that white bread, from that candy right there. The salt and sugars are going to increase your blood pressure. And guess what? High blood pressure is a major risk factor for stroke. And so we are not making it up. That is an unhealthy habit. If you are eating poorly or unhealthily, you are at an increased risk for stroke. Want to add anything?
Yeah, and I think the reason why some people end up consuming such foods is because of their lifestyle. You know, we are always in a hurry, and there is no time for you to make your eggs in the morning, to put your good whole grain and all that together to consume, because you have to go.
You have to go. You got to go. Come on, man. You got to go. Time is up. You got to go to work.
And on your way, you have to pass through drive-through. And over there is all the processed foods. And it's likely that you are going to, so you have to know why you are consuming the unhealthy foods. Maybe because of the nature of your job or because of your lifestyle, the things that you have to do. So what can you do differently, so that you will make the right choices? Do you have to prep overnight? Do you have to make your bag to go in the night so that in the morning, if you have to go, you just grab your healthy food already packed and you go. And when you get to work, you have access to the right choices of foods. So we have to know how our lifestyles are so that we will not. Some people are stuck with only the drive-through foods because they don't have time. They have to go. So just make provisions of things that you can do differently.
Like do it the night before.
The night
pack
before.
It the night before.
You pack your bag and you get up, you go, you are ready to go so that you make the right choices.
And the other thing is, if all your access you have is unhealthy stuff, you are better off fasting, intermittent fasting. Yeah, not eating is better than eating junk. But come on, man. Can I agree with me in the chat? Just put yes, I agree. Yeah, not eating is better than eating junk or unhealthy food. So because you are, running behind time, grab an apple. Make sure you have apples all the time in your house. Some nuts. Grab that apple, wash it, and bring it right with you. A couple of apples, even if one is not enough. And then, chew it or eat it. It will be better off than to eat chips or hot dog. especially if your age is up there,
Doritos.
Doritos, whatever it is, and then and think like that's all you got. No, that's not all that's what you have in the house. If you had a healthy stuff, you would have grabbed a salad, pre-packed salads, some fruits that you can grab on the go. Those will be something that you can munch on and do. Water bottle, clean water bottle that you can bring. Those are stuff that you can. If not, just fast, intermittent fasting. Wait until you get home and you have time enough to make the right unprocessed stuff so that you'll be healthy. Because trust me, we're not just blaming this habit on stroke. I mean, for stroke, it's going to also hurt you if you do that for your heart attack. You're going to be obese. Actually, I think it's on the list. Poor diet leads to what? Obesity. Obesity. You're going to be very big. You're going to gain weight if that all that you do is to eat these unhealthy stuff, or just starch. Nothing. No greens, no fruits. All is just starch. All is just chips, fries, processed food, for that matter. And then there are more.
Yeah, and it's kind of so the unhealthy diet will contain high cholesterol.
High
So the
cholesterol.
bad cholesterol, the LDLs, the trans fats, in such foods. So if you keep consuming such foods, you increase your risk of having high cholesterol. And if you consume that, it's likely that you are not taking in the good cholesterol, which is the HDL. So if you binge more on the bad cholesterol, you are increasing your chance of stroke because you are building up the plaques in your arteries, and that will definitely lead to stroke.
Lead to stroke. Not only stroke, it would also lead to heart attacks.
Heart
You get
diseases.
stroke and heart attack for you. Though we are focusing on stroke today, but that lifestyle must change, or else one of them will be yours. God forbid. God forbid. Come on, man. Don't be you. If you're watching today, we forbid you to have a stroke, because we know you're going to change your lifestyle and eat right and do the right stuff. And apart from that, eating unhealthily can also lead you to becoming diabetic. You can have diabetes. So obesity, diabetes. And inflammation, your whole body. The processed foods leads to when you eat a lot of processed foods, you gain, your body becomes inflamed. And inflammation leads to all these plaques that will form in your arteries that will lead to stroke. And apart from that, you get pain everywhere. Your arthritis is so huge. All the time you are in pain. You don't know why. Of course, you gain a lot of weight. So the weight is bearing on your knees. You're going to have knee pain, joint pain, all forms of pain. A lot of them are linked to your poor or unhealthy diet. If you start eating natural stuff, cooking the stuff right from the original sources, not making somebody make it and put it in a can, or fry it and sell it to you, or give it to you in a drive-through, but you are making it at home and eating, and a lot of these things are going to stop. And so that is something that you need to do. Inflammation will stop if you stop eating these processed foods. I think we have one comment, right? We're going to put it up. And oh, come on, man. It's our own dear lady, our own dear software mommy, Rosemary Edu. She's saying that great health teachings, Docs. God bless you for the value being added to all of us. Oh, I'm so glad. Especially coming from you. We appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna move forward. Is there another one that we? Yeah, I think we're good with food. Now let's see. The next thing that we are going to talk about is. Oh, my screen did something. The next thing is good old alcohol. Come on, man. Alcohol on the live. Alcohol. The next. This is what the third one, huh?
Yep,
The third habit that can lead to a stroke is to be drinking alcohol and other stuff. Alcohol and others. Oh, come on, man. You want to start, honey?
So taking alcohol, being excessive in drinking alcohol will increase your blood pressure. So if your blood pressure is not well controlled, or you're trying to see if you have any bad habits, being a drunkard is definitely a bad habit. I'm sure this is no news, right? The reason being that it increases your blood pressure and it damages the blood vessels. I think we talked about caffeine, nicotine that also damage blood vessels, or smoking damaging the blood vessels. Alcohol also damages blood vessels. So if you drink excessively, it's likely that you are prone in getting stroke.
Definitely, you are going to get a stroke. You, but not you who are watching, because either you don't drink or you're going to stop drinking. So I know you won't get the stroke. I trust you. Trust me. We trust you. All right. So yes, alcohol can lead to high blood pressure. But not only that, alcohol also lead to a condition we call atrial fibrillation. AFib for short,
If it,
which is a condition where the heart quivers, the heart beats in a synchronized like that. But sometimes for some people will do boom boom, pause a little bit, then goes like that. And so if you drink alcohol heavily, the sad thing is you don't know what heavy is. We say heavy alcohol drinking. But for me, skinny guy like me, heavy may be a couple of drinks. For you, I don't know. And so, as a matter of fact, to be safe, stay away. Don't even say that it's light. Who knows what your body calls heavy, what your body calls
light.
light? Kind of like people who are drinking. Some people can drink a lot and they don't get intoxicated.
Right.
You may get a drink and you are gone. And even those who drink a lot and they don't get intoxicated, doesn't mean that their body is fine. It's doing something in them. So basically, what I'm getting at is don't go by the word heavy. We have to qualify it by heavy because that's what the studies say. And so when we say heavy, don't say heavy. Oh, I'm not heavy, so I'm good. No,
I'm drinking just one
you come
bottle
on,
a
man.
day.
It's the good thing is to stay away.
Stay away.
So the point I was making is that alcohol can hurt the electrical function of your heart. So your heartbeats are all due to some synchronized electrical things going on. But if you're a heavy drinker, what happens is alcohol can modify the way your heart, the electricity conducts in your heart muscles, and that is where that AFib thing will come. So it will not be so consistent like God made it. It will become quicker and then it stop, and then once it does that, blood pulls down the heart or the bottom of the heart, and the clot may form, and that clot leads up. And the next squeeze, that blood goes out of your heart, it goes to your brain and locks up and causes stroke. And so people who have AFib, they have to be treated with anticoagulants or blood thinners so that they don't clot and form a stroke. But if you are drinking and it's causing that, who will even know when your clot will form? And so definitely stay away from alcohol in order to avoid the AFib, which can lead to a stroke.
Yeah, and it's also have alcohol has excess carbohydrates, right?
Sugars,
It's
right?
excess
A lot of sugar.
So consuming more and more is likelihood that you are going to be prone to being diabetic, and that can also lead to the condition of you getting stroke. So it's increased the intake of calories for the day. So as the more that you take it, you are building up on calories, and you're going to gain weight. Obesity kicks in, can lead to diabetes, and it can also cause you to have stroke.
So all those things are leading you to get a stroke. Obesity is a risk factor for stroke and heart attack, of course. So if you are getting more sugars and gaining weight from the alcohol, then that's what's up. The other thing is alcohol also leads to liver damage, which I know a lot of you know. We know that alcohol causes cirrhosis of the liver, right? But apart from that, the liver is also modified in such a way that your blood becomes thin. So it can lead to hemorrhagic strokes. You can burst a vessel in your brain and cause a stroke right there. And so alcohol is not your friend. It may taste good on the tongue, but it's a trick.
Does it?
Come on, man. If it doesn't, if people drink it, it may be tasty. It may be tasty for your tongue, but the end is bitter. And social drinking, it may bring you closer to people, kind of like the image we are showing. People are drinking together and all that. But come on, man, if you have all these glasses raised and yours is water, who will be able to tell? Drink that water. Come on, man. Don't succumb They don't have to succumb to social pressure because the guys or the girls are drinking. I have to drink, unless you don't know what you're about. If you go and they are drinking, grab your glass, but instead of alcohol, put water in there. You know, you don't have to be preaching right there and say that guys stop drinking, especially when they will be drunk. They ain't gonna listen to you. But if you drink your water and you show them how healthy you are in other ways, they are going to ask. Perhaps we should all do toast instead of instead of alcohol toast, because it's not going to be beneficial for their health. All right, so
You
don't
can
be under
still
pressure.
do non-alcoholic
Beverages,
beverages, right? And still toast and still have fun. You don't have to consume the
as
alcohol.
long as there's no sugar.
Yes.
Are we being
No
harsh?
sugar.
I feel like
I
we're
think
being
so.
harsh on people. Don't drink alcohol, don't drink soda, and it looks like we are making life hard. But it's not hard. It's not hard. We don't drink alcohol. We don't drink. Sodas. I mean, we are still here. It doesn't make me any less. I mean, I'm probably skinnier, and that's more healthier, right? Yeah. So we are not trying to make life hard. You know, somebody means that you say no alcohol, not even wine, because you may be tempted to continue to drink, even though some people say 2 glasses are fine. You are saying that you should probably avoid it because you may not be able to stand the temptation of drinking more than two. And what else can we do? And now you are saying that not even soda, not even soda. What else can we do? And you are saying water. Come on, man.
Just the right choices. Today we are talking about habits, right?
Habits. Yes.
So maybe once in a while somebody may drink soda, one, and that's it. It's not a habit. It's not a habitual thing that they do. So you have to make the right choices. It's your body. Whatever you put in, we have to think about the implication. We are sharing the knowledge with you. How it will affect your body if you become
Habitual.
addicted, to some of these things, substances around. So if you can get away with water, why go for soda? If you can get away with non-alcoholic beverages, why do you go for the alcohol? At the end of the day, you are with friends, you are having fun, you are all relaxed, you are getting overstressed, right? By doing that. So if you can make the right choices, we have a lot, this place, we have a lot of choices. Like if you go to a table and they offer you things, there's so many varieties of things that you can grab or take or can be served with. Make the right choices and treat your body in a way that it will do you good. If not now, later for sure.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You said it better. You said it better. All right. So treat your body good, knowing that you may reap the benefits in the future, right? All right. So the last thing that alcohol does is alcohol also screws up your cholesterol. Because anybody who is an alcoholic or who drinks alcohol frequently, they have increased levels of triglycerides, and that's not good for you either. So you have alcohol and you are taking cholesterol medication and you are boozing once a while in the night, you know that you are the reason for the medication not even working properly. Even if it's working, it would probably be better if you were not doing the alcohol every night. So let's think about stopping the alcohol.
And I think some alcoholics too do not eat well because they are taking the alcohol. They don't feel hungry. So their chance of grabbing the good source of foods and nutrients are limited. So back home we have somebody with a bloated belly, or you can see the right? Because the person is not really consuming the good source of foods.
Alcohol is even preventing them from eating.
Because they are consuming that excess sugar, excess alcohol into the system. So they don't feel the hunger to even grab good source of foods. So they are not aging very well. You can look at them and see that they've aged, So it's not the good habit to build. If you can get away from this habit, that would be good for you.
That would be definitely better for you to get out of the alcohol habit. And so, with that being said, in the interest of time, we're going to go to the fourth one on the live, the fourth habit that can lead to a stroke. And that fourth habit is what we call unmanaged stress. Oh, come on, man. This guy throws the paper, and I'm like, man, this is a stressed dude. You watching? Stress at work. Oh man, he throws it again. Stress at work, nothing being achieved, nothing being accomplished, bosses on you, and you have no way out anywhere. Everybody walking about, making noise, kind of like what you're saying in there. Stress that is unmanaged. Now we qualified it with unmanaged because nobody has a stress-free life. I mean, if you have a stress-free life, put it in the comment and say, I've never stressed on. If you never get stressed at anything, show us how, because we could use it. And I told you, I promised you that Gifty is going to tell you how she managed her stress this afternoon after the hectic, big, a weekend that we've had, attending wedding, attending graduation, and twice, two graduations, one graduation by going twice. In one weekend and going on a wedding and this reception
staying
and
late.
staying late and going for the engagement too.
Yes.
Going for the engagements, the wedding, the reception, the graduation, and another graduation. Stress upon what? Tired, right?
And driving
And
for
driving
how many
far
hours?
to another state. We're interstate. Driving from Connecticut to Massachusetts, probably not as far for some of you, but at least for us, we think it was far. Stress, unmanaged stress can lead to bad outcomes, including strokes, especially, but also heart disease. And the first reason is that stress leads to increased blood pressure. Blood pressure is almost everywhere. If you are stressed and it's not managed, especially what we call chronic stress, and that's the key. That's why I say that everybody is stressed at some point. But if your stress doesn't go away, if your stress is persistent, the stress is there all the time, then you have chronic stress, and that is what raises your blood pressure, and it does other things to your body, which we're going to talk about, and you become prone to stroke and heart attack.
Yeah. So like if you are not able, like you said, we all stress, right? But how can you manage it? So we're talking about unmanaged stress. So if you are not able to have healthy coping mechanism when you're stressed, it's likely that you are going to do all the wrong things that will lead to you having like unhealthy habits that can lead to stroke. So what are the the unhealthy coping mechanisms, right? So some people are stressed, and in order to cope, they tend to smoke. Like we are talking about smoking, that the smoking can increase your blood pressure, the smoking can damage your arteries and all that. So if some people are stressed, the only way that they can relax is to grab something and smoke, and that relaxes them.
Some people also go to alcohol.
Some people will also drink. So a stressful day, you've been so stressed at work, you come home and the only way out is to drink. And that's like an escape mechanism. You escape that situation and it relaxes you. So when you are stressed, you have to find a way to make the right choices.
So that increases your risk twice, because the stress itself is leading to blood pressure, and when you come home and you try to relieve the stress, you're also using bad mechanisms, bad coping mechanisms, such as smoking or alcohol to manage it. So 3 things going on.
Wow. So like the way I was able to manage my stress.
Come on, man. Let's see it. How did you manage your stress before you came on the live? Because you were stressed,
I was so tired, so stressed. I'm like, I can't even think straight. So the only way that I resolved this was to go to bed. I just took 2 straight hours.
Oh, come on, man. That's cheap. You didn't prepare for the show. You just cheated.
I had to sleep. I was so stressed. I was so tired. So instead of me, I think I have another bad habit too. When I'm stressed, I tend to overeat. That can be a bad way to manage your stress. So overeating or you not making the right choices can be something that you have to pay attention to. Maybe it's not just you, it's just because you are stressed and you want some relief. So the only relief that you want to have is to escape through food. And the kinds of foods too
Ice cream, some people
around you will make it even worse. So some people can choose the healthy ones and still overeat. But if you have the bad foods around you, some people will end up eating a lot of chocolate. Some people will do ice cream, right? all the bad choices. So just watch how you react when you're stressed. What are the things that you can do differently in order to cope with the stress? Because if you're not able to control the stress, like you said, it increases what your blood pressure. You produces cortisol, and the cortisol can cause you to put on weight, to become obese, to gain weight, and all that. So let's find ways and means to do in order to manage the stress that we are going through. The healthy ones, though, not the only healthy
Oh,
ones.
come on, Mike. Find better ways, like she did. Take a nap. Drop everything and take a nap. Tell the kids, mommy got to
Me
take a nap.
time.
Me time. Oh, you got a me time today. Come on, man. Where is that? I ain't getting no me time yet. Since we came back, right? I'm gonna grab my me time after
Yeah.
the show, right? But that's a good segue from last week when you and your sister told us we got to get our me time. So you got 2 hours me time and you use that to sleep. Cool. All right. And stress also, another thing stress does is it leads to inflammation in the body. She mentioned cortisol and also other hormones, norepinephrine. When these hormones are released because you are chronically stressed, your body becomes inflamed. Your body thinks that there's something going to happen to it and it has to fight. That leads to inflammation. And you get pain, joint pain, neck pain. That's why when people are stressed, some of them get headaches. Other people get neck pain, shoulder pain. It's all because of inflammation. Stress is leading to your body fighting back. And so that's not good for you. So de-stress. Use some of the things that Gifty said to de-stress. The other thing is when you are overstressed or chronically stressed over a long time, you get increased heart rate. So in an acute situation, your stress makes your heart rate go up. Your heart beats a little faster because your body thinks that you got to escape from some kind of a threatening situation.
All right.
But that is supposed to end after that situation has gone. But if you are stressed chronically, your heart rate does not stop. It continues to beat faster. Your heart continues to beat faster. And that destroys your heart strength. We're talking about cardiovascular diseases, and that may eventually lead to a stroke because you are exerting on unnecessary heartbeat or heart rate on your heart because of your chronic stressful situation. You have anything to
I
add to
think
that?
that's it. But you mentioned this month being
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. So this month is May is Mental Health Month, and so we also want to use this as a way to tell anybody who is watching, especially when we are talking about stress. You may not be stressed. You may be anxious. You may have anxiety. You may have depression. You may have mood disorders. And we want to encourage you to seek for help. If you have any of these mental health ailments, you are not to fight alone. The beauty of the world is that God doesn't plant one person here all by themselves. Even for you to have children, you have to make it with somebody. So God wants you to be with some people.
somebody.
You need help. So if you are going through anything, we may not have mentioned your kind of mental health issue, but the common ones we have mentioned: major depression, anxiety, mood disorders,
Swings.
whatever it is. Make sure you seek for help. Racing thoughts, sleepless nights, whatever it is, we encourage you to seek help. Suicidal ideation, and in fact, call for help. Call for help. Call the doctor's office or call the number in your area that leads to emergency services, and people are ready to help you. We didn't look up that number, but there's a number here in the US that you can call. I don't know if you can see if you can Google it right now. We can share about before we end the show. National Suicide Prevention Hotline. So make sure that you seek for help. Do not stay and fight mental health issues alone. You deserve more than that. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. And remember that everybody goes through some stuff. The fact that you don't see people telling people that they are depressed doesn't mean people are not depressed. Trust me, we work in healthcare, and some of the people you think are the most happy people, They take medicine for depression. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
If you need it, you need it.
Right.
You know, if you are anxious about certain things, sometimes too, it's just situational anxiety. Something is coming up, and because of that, they are going through something. Seek for help, brother. Seek for help, sister. Don't fight the battle alone. And if you are like me, after you seek help in those medical areas, go to church. Oh, come on, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Find a Bible believing church and attend. You know, sometimes when you talk to a pastor, that's all you need. Talk to a counselor in the church, talk to a leader in the church. Pour out your heart and tell them what you're going through. They may not be able to say anything, but the fact that somebody listened with you.
Yeah.
And if they have enough faith to pray with you and you have enough faith to believe that God heard your prayer, that's all. Come on, man. That's all it is. And for some people, you will need to talk to pastors and still take medication. It's still good.
And it's okay.
In fact, it is perfect. It is fine. You are tackling the spiritual and the physical,
Yeah.
which God has made us. We ain't just spiritual walking around. We are physical too. Come on, man. I got a body. Can you touch my body? I am physical. I can feel too. You too. You are physical. We have a spirit within. So if the physical body needs something, it's okay to seek for help. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You are not strong because you didn't seek for help. In fact, if you are going through and you prevent yourself from getting help, you are the weak one because you are showing that you don't need help. God made us to seek and help each other. And if you're in an area where we have mental health professionals around, do not fight anything alone. You are depressed, go see them. Anxious about something, go see them. You know, afraid of something, some life situation, go see them. It may be something you maybe lost somebody and you are going through. Seek help, brother and sister. Don't do it alone because help will help you. Seeking help. Well, come on, man. I made that happen. Yeah. Seeking
Yes, so
help
that
will help you.
suicidal number, you call 988.
Just 988 National Suicide Prevention Line. Just call 988
Or text.
or text 988 and you will have somebody that will help you and talk through and see what they can do to help you. So that's a good thing you reminded me of. And we had to do that in since we were talking about stress. All right. So in that case, we are going to be able to move forward now, right? I think the next one is physical inactivity. Physical inactivity. Let me see if I have a slide for that. Oh, come on, man. That's another one for you. Physical inactivity is something that people also are using to get strokes. They are they are physically inactive. They don't move. We are made to move. You know why God made those legs?
To move.
To move. Come on, man. Those legs are made to walk or to run sometimes, to jog sometimes. So definitely get around and move and make your life more active because sedentary lifestyle is a risk factor for stroke. In fact, if you are sedentary all the time, your blood pressure is going to go up. It's definite. Your blood pressure is going to go up. Other things will happen. You're going to gain weight because you're not burning the calories that you eat. You know, some people, all they do is watch TV, stay in the couch. And this guy was watching TV. He saw me looking at it, and then he turned right onto the screen. Like, wow, you see, he's watching TV. All that. I'm not saying I don't watch TV. I watch news. I'm a news junkie, but I don't let that take the most part of my life. You know, 1 hour, couple hours, whatever it is. But even if you are going to watch it 12 hours, make sure that you devote 1 hour or 30 minutes for your exercise. That's what we're saying. We're not saying don't watch TV. We're not saying don't sleep. Do all those. But on top of that, be physically active. Your exercise, your walking, your jogging, or your running, or your gym, whatever it is you can do to be physically active, you have to incorporate that to avoid all those risk factors that can lead you to stroke. You have anything?
Yeah, so like with the physical inactivity and exercise, there are two different things, you know. So the physical inactivity is more like your daily schedule, you know. You are such that you are stagnant for the whole day, then you are inactive, you know. Some people are so lazy or so like inactive that they have to call their kids for the remote to pick the remote for them change the channel
Sometimes
to
you're
get
tired.
glass of water. Yeah, but
That's they're doing their me time. They don't
me
want.
but the physical inactivity is not just like you've done my exercise, my 30 minutes exercise for the day, so that's it for the day. The whole day you have to fit in activities,
Move
you know,
around.
move around. So I was thinking about this and I'm like, you know what, we have to invest in good shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I realize is when my shoe I'm in not comfortable shoes, it's likely that my movement is going to be very
That's the
limited.
high heel shoes, right?
Yes, yeah, I don't want to move around. So what I've said to myself is like I'm going to invest in good shoes. So if your shoes are easy wear, it's something that will help you move. Invest in that. So during the day, you are easily mobile. You are able to move back and forth easily than to inhibit your movements because of what you're wearing or your shoes are so not comfortable. So we have to invest in stuff like that. I think as you age, you realize that there are certain things that you cannot just wear because you walk a short distance and you're tired. But if you have the light shoe, you have the comfortable shoe, it's likely that you are going to be brisk walking. When you're walking, you are going to, when you go grocery, it's likely that you are going to pack a little further because your shoes are comfortable and you're going to walk briskly into it. And when you are shopping, you are not lazily around, you are really walking because you have comfortable shoes. So my little advice or what I've realized that I have to invest in is good shoes. So I'm going to buy good shoes, easy wear shoes, so that I help my activities for the day, in addition to the 30 minutes exercise that I do.
In addition to the exercise, you said that last,
Yes.
because that may not be enough.
Right.
How many times you go for shopping? Grocery maybe once a week, and then the packing. Trust me, we say all this, but automatically when you go to a place, before you think about it, you're looking for the packing clothes. Yeah, we are used to that, so you have to definitely make plans to do exercise. Physical activity is good,
Right.
but definitely plan exercise into your schedule 3 times a week at least, so that the other days the activity will actually fill in for you. So definitely 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour or even 15 minutes a day if it's daily. If it's 15 minutes of brisk activity every day, it will suffice. It will suffice, but you definitely have to do something. And we already know what physical inactivity will do. We don't want to spend more time. We want to go straight into the last thing so we can close on time today. And the last one will be, I think, ignoring care, and non-medical compliance. That's another huge one. That is another huge one. Some people, when we say ignoring care, some people refuse to see their doctors because they feel like they are not sick. Oh, and sometimes some people say it, and it's so funny. It's like me, I don't get sick. In 1 whole year, I haven't been sick. Yes, you have not have acutely sick to see the doctor. It doesn't mean that things are not happening in your body. You may be piling up the cholesterol in your arteries, but time hasn't come for them to expose you. You haven't had a stroke or heart attack yet, so nobody knows. But all that junk eating, all that, sometimes, your own body making the cholesterol, it's piling up. And so don't say that, oh, I've never been sick. Since I've been here, so after me, I'm fit, so I don't see the doctor. Don't be proud about that. You got to see your doctor and make a physical every year, at least once. At least if you have no disease at all. If you are young and you feel like nothing is happening, just do your physical. And when you go, make sure you ask them to do all the necessary tests that you need to be given. Sometimes they also see you and they feel like, oh, why do you even come? I've had a doctor tell me before, why are you even here? Come see me 2 years. I'm like, I ain't coming 2 years. I'm paying for my insurance. You want me to stay home for 2 years before I come? You got to see me. That's what you got to do. Go and get yourself checked at least once a year. But if you have a disease, if you have diabetes, if you have high blood pressure, as for you, we don't even have to say it. Whether it's every 3 months or whatever, unless it's really under control, your doctor may say come once a year. And some people are ignoring that. So if your lifestyle or you have a habit of ignoring that, then you are actually inviting stroke or heart attack at some point. That's what we're saying on this point right now. you should not ignore care. You should not ignore the processes. Some people too, they make appointment and they don't show, and they are happy about it. Some people too, for whatever reason, they are very, very scared of the doctor's office. They don't go until an injury or something serious has happened. That is when they begin to see or look for doctors. So definitely seek your doctors or seek for help and care. Annual visits of all kinds, not just for blood pressure, diabetes, or sugars and cholesterol that leads to stroke, but even everything. If you're a woman, your mammograms, your guy, even women to your colonoscopy, everything that needs to be checked, and make sure that you are being taken care of.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, and I know there is a known fact that men do not seek help at all, or they don't follow up as much as the women.
Why are you picking on the men? Why are you picking on the men? Some women do that too.
So if you are a wife out there, I encourage you, check with your husband whether they've visited the doctor just once a year. They have this thing like, why should I go to the doctors? I'm not sick. What's the need? We have to change our mindset. We have to try and understand that we don't want to ignore care. We have access to care. I think last week we were talking about other places that they don't have all this available or readily available for them. You are here, you are working, you have your insurance. So the best that you can do for yourself is just one visit for the whole year, just one, just to take the basics and see how you're doing. If there is anything that you have to adjust or change, we don't want to ignore care because it's available for you to use.
Oh, come on, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Don't ignore care. And the last thing that I'll add to that point is that some people too are seeking care, right? But they are non-compliant or non-adherent. Some people have their blood pressure medications at home. They are not taking it. They go all right, but when the medicine is given to them, they don't take it. Some people too, they are referred, go to this specialist, let's check this thing up. And they stay home. They're like, I don't have time, or I forgot. Non-compliant. Non-compliant. You are definitely looking up stroke or heart attack in that regard. And so, not just for cardiovascular diseases, you have to be consistently compliant. We don't want to say obedient to healthcare professionals because we are all adults, right? But when it comes to medical care, if somebody is taking care of you and they've taken the pains to check you and say, check this or do this or come in 3 months, come in 6 months, and you do not show up, you are not doing them anything. You are hurting your own self. They will continue to be paid. They are doing their job. They will document it that they called you, they told you to come and they didn't show up. Who loses? You lose. So don't be non-compliant or not adherent if you have medications. Do not be non-adherent. Don't take it the way you want. When the doctor says take it twice a day, you're like, my body doesn't agree. I'll take once a day. Oh, come on, man. If your body doesn't agree, you got to talk to your pharmacist and talk to the doctor and work out a plan to change it. But you don't make the decisions at home as if you are, we want you to be your own best doctor, but not that kind of doctor. Come on, man. You got to be working with your healthcare professionals and ensure that you are following through with your care, because that's the best thing that can happen to you. Especially, like she said, if you have the access. Some people don't have the access, and they are managing the little that they have. They have a sick care. Some people have a sick care healthcare. They only go to the doctors when they are sick.
Yeah.
But here in the US or in the UK or in other places where healthcare is a little more accessible, you shouldn't do that. As a matter of fact, everywhere, nobody should do that. Yeah. But we understand that some places the access is not that great. But if you have the access and you are not taking care of yourself, you are doing yourself more harm. And we hope that we have convinced you enough on this live to change that kind of habit. All right.
Yeah, and I think, Annie, some people also say that when you go to the doctors, they tend to scare you.
It's their job. It's their job to scare you. If they don't scare you, you won't come.
I don't want to be stressed. I want to be able to manage my stress. So why should I go to the doctors for them to stress me? So some people have this mentality that the doctors will scare you if you go. But if something is hidden, how beautiful it is for them to find it early enough and take care of
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's actually a motivation for you to go,
it.
because if they see something, that's when they can take care of it before it gets too late. So don't be stressed by that. See that as an opportunity to avert dangerous situations before they happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And some people also think that they just want to make money off me. You know, why should I go? The doctor is going to get this amount of money. I'm like, it's not even your money, it's the
it's the insurance
insurance.
that's paying.
You
And
know,
even if you don't have insurance and you have to pay,
pay.
they are providing a service. See it that
You have
way.
to pay
You
them.
have to pay. If you buy food, don't you pay? Do you say because the food sellers or the grocery shop will make money, I'm not going to eat? I haven't heard that before. Have you? Come on. No, you still eat because it's important for your life. You eat to live, right? So you need it. In the same way, see healthcare as something as important as you need. You need it's a place. You need a place to put your head and sleep every night. Your healthcare is like that because it's your whole body. You know how you live, and so I'm hoping that we have convinced people enough, right?
Yes.
All
And I
right.
think they're ignoring too. We mentioned monitoring the last time that we discussed. So
Mhm.
you have to monitor, you have to invest in blood pressure monitor, you have to do the diabetes check to check your sugar level. That's all part of the care that you're given to yourself. So don't ignore them. If you have to know, have an idea or where your level is, you keep checking and it's not controlled. By monitoring, you will know and you can mention that to your doctor so that maybe they can adjust the dose, add on the medication for it to be able to be controlled.
All right. All right. Monitoring, and loud. And for some people, when they go, they are going to get the insurance will pay for those devices too. And if you don't have insurance and you have to pay for it, again, if you buy food, you should be able to buy your medicine, right?
Yes.
No, I know that it's hard. And for people who are in a place like the US, I want to make that caution, who are not documented, immigrants who are not documented, who because of that are not going to the doctors, you are making a big mistake because doctors are not immigration officers and they will not check anything concerning where you came from or whatever it is. And apart from that, they have sworn to take care of patients. If they are really true good doctors, they will take care of you regardless. Moreover, there are avenues where even undocumented people go. Catholic charities, in the place where we are, the Catholic charities, they have a bus, and at some days of the week they go, and people who don't have any insurance or any documentation to even assess the insurances that are available, they go and they take care of them. There's some good people out there, trust me. So not everybody is out there to get you. Get something, if you search Google or whatever, call around and take care of yourself. I know somebody who was living here for years and they had nothing, you know, no insurance, no
Documentation.
documentation, but they got care, diabetic care for so many years, and they took care
Even
of them,
surgery for
even
free.
surgery for free. But you just have to look for it. You don't say that because I don't have it, I don't have to even look. And then your cholesterol is piling up and waiting for the day that you fall down and die. And people will say that gone too soon. Come on, man, we won't take that.
No. And another thing I want to throw in, I don't know whether our time is fast spent, is people's job. Sometimes they go, they live in, they go there and they stay there and they forget about their care, you know.
We
So
heard stories of people dying there
dying at work because they are not taking care of themselves. They are taking care of the person that they're supposed to take care, but they forgot about
themselves.
themselves. So you have to have time to, at least if you are healthy overall, it's okay. And you have to make time to be active whilst you live in that house. You take a walk, you exercise, you do other things taking care of you. You know, when it's time for you to visit your doctor, you ask for permission and go and check on you.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, you are going to spend the money. You don't want to die gone too soon and somebody else come spend your money. So you have to
Definitely.
take care of yourself. You don't have to ignore your
You
care.
don't have to ignore your care. That's what's up, my man. That's what's up. All right, we are bringing the stream to a close. I think that was the last point I think that I had. And in the interest of time, we are going to ask if there is any comments or any questions on the live, or before the live, after the live, I should say, if anybody puts anything, we will answer that. I don't think there's any questions, but if you are watching and you have any question, just put it on the live and we will be able to answer it either now or in the future. But apart from that, I think we have come to the end of our scheduled meeting today. And so we are going to end, if we don't get any questions, just hanging around to see if there will be any other any comments or any questions coming in. See anything, or is there anything we can ask ourselves and answer? Sometimes it's good to bring potential questions that people may have when they watch later after the live. I don't think there is any. All right, so let's see. No, that's what that slide was for questions and answers. So, in the absence of anything, I think we can close the live. And if you watch, make sure you share, you like, you thumbs up, and do all those good things for us so we can reach more people. It's about saving lives. And that's why we are here, right? And with that being said, we will say, Beloved,
we wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers.
And my name is Oteng, Dr. Oteng, and my beautiful wife is
Dr. Gifty Oteng.
Oteng, and it's been fun this day. Thanks for watching. God bless.
God bless.